Very good to see you.
It's good to see you,
How are
Jimmy.
you doing right now?
Right now, I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
What seemed like a rather routine greeting as Regina King sat down with Jimmy Kimmel last night turned into a very emotional moment for the late night host.
I know you've been through a lot the last year.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's good to see you, Jimmy.
good to see you too.
Yeah, it was a powerful moment with obviously a lot going unsaid. And I don't usually like to read into these moments, but obviously Jimmy was referring to the fact that Regina's son passed away from suicide just over 2 years ago. And it's the first time she's been on the show since.
Please welcome Regina King.
The last time Regina was on Jimmy Kimmel Live was in October 2021 when she was promoting The Harder They Fall.
How are you?
I am well.
Following her son's death in January 2022, Regina stayed away from the public eye in Hollywood. But with 2024 starting out, Regina made a trio of public appearances, including saluting Danielle Brooks at the Oscars.
You have earned this full circle moment, my friend.
I don't think this was some big planned out strategy on Regina's part, but certainly it would have been an easier decision to attend these events because it wasn't focused on her. She hosted an industry screening of Ava DuVernay's film Origin, and then she presented her friend Angela Bassett with her honorary Oscar. By happenstance, Regina was able to return to the public eye without the spotlight being on her. Like it was almost like just getting her feet wet again.
We talked over the weekend when she was at the Oscars, and she said, "I'm ready to talk."
Yeah, Regina contacted her friend and Good Morning America anchor Robin Roberts because now the focus was going to be on her. Because now she had a movie she wanted to promote, Shirley, a movie she produced, which came out on Friday.
This film that I'm doing is very important. I know people want to talk about that. I want to be able to talk about my son. I'm not going to make him a poster child for what's going on.
You can see tears in Robin's eyes and her voice is quivering a bit. And yeah, that was the case during the interview as well.
I thought about him when you were on the stage at the Oscars because you were wearing orange. That's his favorite color.
Yes.
So are there moments where, not does it trigger, but is it?
Oh, it's a trigger.
Is it?
Absolutely. Grief is a journey. I understand that grief is love that has no place to go.
What I thought about after watching that GMA interview was how much Regina was, holding it in is not the right word, but how much Regina probably was so focused on keeping her composure. Because yeah, she said she was ready to talk about it, but reality is like this was being dictated by the movie release, and it might have been a good thing for her that you have that almost like a goal date on the calendar. Like she knew the release of Shirley is coming, and she's going to want to do interviews to promote that movie, and so it might have been a good thing to force her to make that decision. Like, okay, yeah, I am ready to talk about Ian, and yeah, I'm going to do it in this one interview with Robin.
I want to talk about it once, and then.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Regina didn't get much sleep the night before because, just with the anticipation of, she wants to keep her composure and, be, not anything a pillar of strength, but just communicate to the public that has been very concerned about her that she is okay. But, sitting in that chair across from Robin's getting teary-eyed under the lights, and just the adrenaline of, the anticipation of doing this interview and talking about it for the first time, that all would have been a lot of energy going on. And that energy has to find its way out somehow, and that would have possibly come out in tears. So just the fact that she, was able to keep herself composed is such an impressive thing, I guess.
People expect that.
It looks as though GMA was very respectful in her editing as well, because it just cuts from Regina needing to take a moment.
It's okay.
To have to experience this.
To Regina wiping away tears on her cheek. So some crying happened, but yeah, we didn't see that crying happen.
I know that I share this grief with everyone, but no one else is Ian's mom.
Yeah, now that she's addressed Ian's passing in that first interview, it's kind of like, okay, that topic's done for the rest of the press tour. Because I did say that she did do a junket, which means that Regina sat in the room and a reporter comes in, sits down, they have 4 minutes to ask questions, then her time's up, they get up, another reporter comes in, one after the other. And probably the publicist said beforehand, hey, don't ask about Ian to the journalists, but I can't see that many journalists would have wanted to bring up that topic in a 4-minute interview format. I certainly wouldn't. I find with that kind of stuff, there was a similar situation. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, with that kind of stuff, I find you're trivializing something that's very real, and you're asking Regina to give you an answer that's like a 20-second soundbite. So it just feels really inappropriate to bring something like that up. So I highly doubt that, the reporters that would have wanted to bring it up in that format anyways. There was a red carpet for Shirley on Thursday, and I was very surprised to see the title of Access Hollywood's video, but I see what they did.
You just gonna do this on us? I know there's something here. You and Orange.
Yeah.
So Scott Evans showed Regina the cover of her recent Harper's Bazaar spread, and Scott just brings up the color orange, and then Regina's the one who brings up Ian.
Ian's favorite color is orange, and it always has been ever since he was a little boy.
So Scott, or the Access Hollywood producer, obviously watched that GMA interview. I would have done the same thing before interviewing Regina, because you want to see what other interviews they've done and what they've said in other interviews. They obviously, saw that clip about the orange at the Oscars, and so that was a way of bringing up Ian without them bringing up Ian.
And I was actually in a red dress, and I was like, I want to wear the orange. And the sun was setting, and Ian is there. Ian is there.
Goosebumps.
So that looks as though it's the only other time that anyone even came close to bring up the topic of Ian with Regina.
Please welcome Regina King.
So then Regina going on Jimmy Kimmel, it's probably her last stop on the press tour. Yeah, and of course he has no intention of bringing it up.
It's very good to see you.
It's good to see you,
How are you
Jimmy.
doing right now?
Right now, I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I know you've been through a lot the last year.
Yeah.
It's funny, when I first watched that moment, I totally got it. I totally got why Jimmy got choked up. And I was going to try to articulate that to you and explain it, but it just feels like wrong to do that. I got what Jimmy was feeling in that moment and why that happened. But to try to explain it just feels icky to me. So I'm just going to leave it alone.
Hey.
It's good to see you, Jimmy.
Good to see you too.
Bravo to Regina for kind of taking control of that moment and, saying to Jimmy, it's good to see you, putting her hand on his arm. As she said, even though she's Ian's mom, she realizes she shares this grief with everyone. But I'm sure there's a part of her too that's like, why are you getting choked up? Like, I'm holding it together. You got it too.
Did you see William Shatner backstage?
What do you think of the very emotional Kimmel moment and how Regina's handled this press tour for Shirley?